When Calls the Heart, Season 8, Episode 5. The show opens up with Elizabeth telling the kids that she'll see them later for a school graduation. After the rest of the kids left, Robert came up to Elizabeth and asked her would she like to hear what he would be saying at the ceremony for graduation. And she said, well, wouldn't you want to surprise me? And he said, I guess so. Robert was walking away and Elizabeth told him, she said, Robert, I want to let you know that I couldn't be prouder of the young man you've become. He said, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. And he gave her a hug. He was walking away and then he stopped and he turned around and said, you're not going to tell anyone I hugged you, right? She said, cross my heart. Rosemary and Rachel were in the dress shop talking. And Ned came in delivering the mail. And there was a letter from Dottie. She owns the dress shop. And she says she got somebody inquiring about buying the dress shop. And she says she decided she wanted to sell. Rosemary was looking worried and disappointed. Lee came by the dress shop and asked them did they want to go to lunch. Rosemary told Lee about the lady getting ready to or thinking about selling the dress shop. And he was like, I doubt that's going to happen. And he wasn't worried. He was like still talking about going to lunch. And Rachel was thinking about, does that mean I have to leave? And Rosemary and Lee assured her that she wouldn't have to leave. Rachel said she needed to take a walk, so she left. Rosemary was trying to figure out who was asking about buying the dress shop. And if they did buy it, they'll all be out of a job. Lee still said he didn't really think she would sell, but he said, lucky for us, I make a good living. You wouldn't have to work. Rosemary looked at him and began to fuss about, what if I want to work? You're being very cavalier about this, Lee, and I don't like it one bit. Lee said she was being a little bit unreasonable. And she said, go stuff yourself or something like that, she said. And she threw the paper in his face and walked out of the shop. Nathan was at his desk and Bill opened the door and he came halfway in the office. He said, Nathan, you're still here. I thought you were gone. Nathan said, well, I just had to wrap up some things in the office and sign some papers. I'm on my way. He's going on vacation. Ned, still delivering mail, came behind Bill to go into the office to deliver the mail. And he said, is that your uniform? Because remember, Bill was still halfway out the door. So the uniform, I guess he was hiding from Nathan. I don't know why, but he was hiding the uniform from Nathan. And Nathan looked at Bill with a smile. Bill came on in the door with the uniform. He said the reason he had it was because headquarters called and said they wanted him to turn the uniform in. But I'm not really sure why would he hide the uniform if all he was going to do is bring it in to turn it in. Nathan said, Bill, I'm just happy to be out of mind for the next few weeks. Because as of right now, you are Hope Valley's one true hope for safety and security. Bill said, enjoy your vacation. Henry agreed to come back to work with Lucas. Lucas said, Henry, I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Henry said, the possibility is there. Lucas handed him the key to the office. Elizabeth walked up and he said to Elizabeth, if anybody can figure out Henry, then they're a better man than I. But he said, I used to be able to figure people out. But I'm having a hard time figuring you out too. She said, I'm not so hard to figure out. Try me. He said, all right. Would you care to have dinner with me tomorrow night to celebrate the end of the school year? She said, I'd be delighted. He said, delighted? Delighted how? She said, to join you on a date. He said, would this be an actual date? She said, an actual date. Right after she said that, and her and Lucas were standing on the corner smiling at each other, Nathan came galloping by on his horse and went around the corner. She looked at him, and then she looked, after she stared at him as he rolled by, she looked back at Lucas and began to smile again. Joseph and Minnie were having a parent-teacher conference with Elizabeth. Elizabeth was telling them how well Coop is doing. As they were leaving, Elizabeth tried to shoot her shot of getting Angela to come to the school, but Minnie still, she's not having it yet. She's not sure about if it's, if she's comfortable letting Angela come to school. But she did commit to coming to the graduation tomorrow. As Elizabeth went to her desk and to scratch the Minnie and Joseph off the list that she had on her desk, she saw Allie and Nathan's name on there, and they were gone out of town, so I'm guessing she's not going to be able to scratch them off the list. Bill tried on his serge jacket. It seemed to fit fine. He seemed like he was being nostalgic, and he took it on off and threw it across the jail bars and walked out the door. He went across the street to where Clara was doing Molly's hair. And as he walked in the door, Molly threw her apron over her head, and she was quiet, and she didn't want Bill to know it was her. And Clara asked Bill to come back tomorrow because today was Ladies' Day and tomorrow she'll do men. And he said, all I wanted was a trim. And as he was going out the door, he said, "Hi, Molly." Clara picked the hair irons off the stove to finish Molly's hair, but Clara burned a section of Molly's hair off. Molly turned around and saw it, and Jesse and Mike were in the saloon, and they said, "Was that a scream?" She screamed out loud. Clara left the irons in one place for too long while she was talking to Molly, and when she went to take the iron down Molly's hair, that whole piece came off. Nathan showed up at Elizabeth's door. He said he got the note that she left him. She said she wanted to know why he didn't show up for the parent-teacher conference. He said he and Allie went fishing. She said, "I was hoping you had a good excuse for missing it." Elizabeth said Allie was doing a good job in arithmetic, and she would like to put her in an advanced class. And Nathan may need to help her sometimes, or she could get a tutor. Nathan said Allie wouldn't need a tutor. Then Elizabeth said Allie started slacking at the end of the school year, probably because of the court thing that Nathan was going through. And she started lecturing Nathan about how he's the only man in Allie's life and she looks up to him. "You're the only father she's ever known, and as she grows up, you'll be the measure of the man that she looks for." Nathan said, "I'm sorry I didn't go to the conference. I was selfish and hurtful for everyone involved." As he got up to walk out, he said thank you for Allie's evaluation, and that he'll see her at the graduation tomorrow. Bill asked Clara would her and Jesse like to buy in to the cafe. When they talked to Jesse about it, he didn't look as excited as Clara was. When Bill left the room, Jesse told Clara, "You said that we need to tighten our belt, and maybe we need to wait a while." Clara said, "Thank you for taking our finances so seriously." When Clara left the room, Jesse had this look on his face. I wonder, does he know something that she doesn't know? If they don't have the money right now? Carson received a letter from the doctor that he helped in the surgical matter a few weeks ago. and he's been offered a fellowship to in Baltimore to be I guess be a surgeon. He was looking kind of disappointed, but Faith was excited about it. He wanted to know if Faith would consider going with him. She says she's happy here in Hope Valley. I don't know. Seems like Carson may be leaving the show and Faith is gonna stay. Lucas showed up at Elizabeth's door early in the morning. He had 2 horses with him, and he said he just thought that she would like to take a brisk morning ride with him. Lucas told Elizabeth that he wouldn't be coming to the graduation because it would be uncomfortable for Nathan because he and Elizabeth are spending so much time together, and the graduation is supposed to be a time for Allie, so he wasn't going to show up. And plus, they're going to meet for dinner later on tonight anyway. At the graduation, the kids sang Elizabeth a song, and at the end of the song, they said one student says bye, and that's Robert. Robert is graduating. Everybody else is moving up, but he's graduating. Minnie Canfield has agreed for Angela to come to the school, but Minnie will have to come too to work with Elizabeth to teach Angela. Jesse was walking through the diner. Jesse was walking through the diner, and Clara was coming down the stairs. She was looking sad. She went by the bank today to confirm the amount of their savings. She said, "What did you do with our money?" So I was correct. I thought maybe he knew something that she didn't know. He said he invested it, and he said he's working on it. She said they said you withdrew all of it. He said that it's gone. He invested it, and it's all gone. Clara said, "Leave right now." He looked at her for a minute, then he turned around and slowly walked away. Elizabeth came home, and Laura, the babysitter, was waiting on her, and she said she just checked on Jack, and he's missing her. Elizabeth said, "Oh," and she said, "I'm going to pay you when I come back downstairs, but I'm going to give you a note, and will you take it to the saloon?" So I'm guessing she's sending a note to Lucas. And I was thinking she was sending the note to cancel their date, but the next scene was them at a table and candles all over the yard, and it was in front of Elizabeth's home. Elizabeth apologized for the change of plans. She said Jack has just been having a hard time lately. Lucas said there's no need to explain, and he told her how beautiful she was. Elizabeth seemed so happy. She said it's been a while since she didn't have anything weighing on her. She looked like she was just happy being with Lucas. Lucas was giving her compliments and saying how happy he is to be there with her tonight. And he grabbed her hand, and that's when she clammed up. He held her hand, and she said, "Lucas, we're going to have to take things slow." And he said, "We have all the time in the world." And it went off. Sidebar, this is me talking. Taking it slow only gives Nathan a chance to creep back in. She's still being fickle. I thought she had chosen, no, I didn't. I was thinking maybe she has chosen Lucas because she seems so happy. Just hanging out with him, smiling at him and stuff. And when Nathan passed by, she looked at Nathan, but when he passed on by, she looked back at Lucas and she was smiling again, and they were all happy. And then the dinner in front of her house. But when she put the brakes on, she let him know we're going slow. And I think that slow means I really haven't made up my mind. That's being fickle. Thanks for watching. When Calls the Heart, Season 8, Episode 5, March 21, 2021.